We're at the halfway point in our review of the 10 essentials of Tai Chi. And number 5 states, sink the shoulders and drop the elbows. You know, it seems very simple to understand in our head, sink the shoulders, drop the elbows. But it's actually not as simple to put into practice consistently. Think about one of the very first things you learn in Tai Chi, which is hold the ball, right? When I teach hold the ball to a brand new person, they will inevitably do this. And their shoulder is hiked up and their elbow is high. And that's going to cause all kinds of tension through the neck, through the shoulder, through the back. And I have to tell them, no, I want you to drop that elbow, let the shoulder relax. There's no reason to hold the ball like this. But this is what we do in our everyday life. I mean, think about how many times you've caught yourself kind of with those shoulders up around the earlobes, either typing or driving or reading or something like that. Our life, we tend to pull that tension up and hold it in this whole neck and shoulder area, which we know is not good. We spend a lot of money on massage and on headache medicine, trying to get rid of that tension, right? Simply doing our Tai Chi is going to help us relieve that tension by sinking the shoulders and dropping the elbows. So let's put it into practice. Let's see how we do our Tai Chi and focus on where the shoulders are, where the elbows are. The first move that we're going to do is very simple. It's preparation, right? So standing with your feet just shoulder width apart, let your knees be soft, sinking down just a little bit, and then bringing those arms up to about shoulder height, and then dropping the elbows, right? The temptation here is to lift from the shoulders as we try to lift the arms up, but that's not what needs to happen. Think about consciously rising up, but not through the shoulders. Then let the elbows drop. Now as you do this, take a nice deep breath in. And breathe it out. See if you can breathe into your back, allowing your shoulders to stay down. And dropping the elbows. One more, preparation. And good. Now bringing that left foot forward, let's go right into pushing chi. With pushing chi, it's a little bit simpler to keep those shoulders down if we keep a rounded position with our arms with pushing chi. We don't want to straighten it out. That rises the shoulders, raises the shoulders, makes the shoulders rise. Keeping our arms nice and loose and rounded. This is a thing we're going to talk about a lot with Tai Chi, is this rounded position. We don't want sharp corners. We want everything to be nice and open and loose. Bring your right foot forward. And again, thinking about breathing. Breathing in as you come back. Breathing out as you push away. Breathing in and breathing out. Now feel through your shoulders. Feel if you are relaxed through the shoulders. Remember, we don't want to pull them down by raising the chest. We want it to be a natural, have them naturally lowered, not purposefully pulled down. We just really don't want them to rise up. We want them to sink. So let's look at brush knee now. When I'm thinking about that rounded position of our arms, if I come out with my brush knee and I keep a nice rounded position by dropping the elbow in that right arm as I'm doing brush knee left, and I keep a nice rounded position in my left arm, look what happens. I'm going to come straight on to the camera. Look what happens if I straighten my arm. Now my shoulders are all up into my earlobes, right? Not only does that, if we straighten out the arm, that puts our focus out here instead of moving from the dantian. Remember, these essentials work together. We don't want to push from the outside, from the very end point. We want to let the dantian lead. So if we do our brush knee and we keep our arms nice and rounded, lead from the dantian, this is going to help keep those shoulders down. The elbows dropped is important here because that keeps that rounded position. Don't let it straighten out. So let's do a few brush knee. Hold that ball to the right. Stepping out, focus on keeping a rounded open position and not allowing your arm to straighten out. Rocking back. Stepping forward, brush knee right. One more, brush knee left. Remember that we want that dantian to lead. We let the rotation of that motion open our body up into that brush knee. We're not thinking about using our arms to do that brush knee. We're allowing the dantian, that rotation, to come through, and our arms just naturally come into this nice soft position. So let's do, thinking of rounded, let's do our wave hands like clouds. This is an easy one to keep our arms nice and rounded, right? As we do our wave hands like clouds, our arms naturally stay nice and round. You will see some newbies try to reach up like as high as they can, making the movement as big. Your elbows are naturally dropped and your shoulders can relax if you're allowing the dantian to lead that movement. But what's the movement that bookends wave hands like clouds? It's single whip. And single whip is a sneaky one because that one really is a fertile ground for raising up those shoulders and the elbows. So coming into your bird's beak, think about this right here. Don't allow the arm to be straight. We don't want the arm to be straight, and we don't want it to be in like this either. We're not pulling the shoulder down. We're not forcing that elbow down. We want it to be a nice rounded position. Okay, shoulder is down, elbow is dropped. As we come into that single whip, again, we need this rounded position. Elbow is dropped. That allows the shoulder to drop. This is the sneaky part, is people want to do this. And as soon as I do that, that raises that shoulder up. As soon as I drop the elbow, the shoulder can sink. So let's do single whip, wave hands like clouds into single whip. So forming that bird's beak on the right, stepping out into your single whip. Notice your shoulders and your elbows. Now come into your wave hands like clouds. One more. Coming into your single whip, keeping those elbows dropped, keeping a nice rounded position in your body. Another one of the movements that causes some angst with your shoulders is repulse the monkey. So when we do that repulse the monkey, if, I'm going to do it kind of to the side, if I keep my elbow dropped, I'm not tempted to rise, keep that arm straight. I want it down. As soon as I open up too wide like this, my shoulders raise up. So you want to keep that rounded position and stepping back into your repulse the monkey. When you do repulse the monkey, and this happens a lot with new students, is they want to open themselves up almost a full 180 degrees. You know, they want to step back and open up like this. And look what just happened to my shoulders, right? You can't open up 180 degrees and not have those shoulders come up. You have to have the arms, the elbows down, and really the angle of this opening up is not, it's a little bit more than 90, but it's not 180. Look what happens when I do that 180. Even though I try to keep my elbows down, my chest is starting to rise. That's not a good position. We want it to be nice, open, rounded, and relaxed. So let's do repulse the monkey a few times. Your left is forward. As you bring that right hand up and over, notice that you don't have to come up and over straight. It can be just a nice, soft stepping. You're just pushing that opponent away. There's no reason for you to come up like this. Bringing that right foot back. Try to relax those shoulders and resist the temptation to come up and go, ta-da! That's not what we want to do with that repulse the monkey. Keep yourself sunk, as it were. So stepping back, trying to keep those shoulders down, trying to keep the elbows in a rounded, soft position, not straight. That's going to relax your body. You're going to be able to do repulse the monkey in a much more relaxed way. Fair Lady Works the Shuttle is also one that, because we're bringing our hand above our head, we often want to bring it up by bringing the shoulder up, but that's not necessary. When you do Fair Lady Works the Shuttle, holding that ball to the right, stepping out, you can still keep this elbow dropped, this hand is still up, and the right hand, just like with brush knee, that elbow stays dropped. You're not straightening out the arm in any way. Holding that ball to the right, now step out. Try to keep the shoulders and elbows down as you do your Fair Lady. Rock back, holding the ball to the left. Step out now, bringing that right arm up, and the left arm comes through, but stays relaxed. Holding that ball. Fair Lady Works the Shuttle. And one more. Fair Lady Works the Shuttle. I was working with some of my students here in my studio in Denver, and one of the ladies said, I used to think Fair Lady was easy. Now I have to think about what I'm doing. And that's okay. I want you to be thinking about it. I want you to be applying these essentials to what you're doing, because that's going to provide more relaxation in your body. You're going to be in a better posture. You're actually going to get the benefits of doing Tai Chi if you're thinking about what you're doing. Let's do the ward-off sequence, thinking about sinking the shoulders and dropping the elbows. holding the ball to the right, you're going to step out with your ward off. Look at how my elbows are still dropped. My shoulders are naturally down. Now as I grasp the bird's tail, I don't try to overreach. Again, that breaks my columns, that brings me off balance, that brings me out of good alignment. But it also makes things stiff and straight, which we don't want. We want that rounded position. So hold the ball to the right, stepping out, ward off. Now just simply grasp the bird's tail. Don't reach for it. Then roll back. Rotate and press. Here's our pushing chi. Remember, we keep a nice rounded and let the Dianne lead. Good, then bringing your weight over to the right. Bring it back to the left, holding that ball. Think about even as you hold the ball that your elbow is dropped, your shoulder is down, then stepping out, ward off. Grasp the bird's tail. Roll back. Rotate and press. Pushing chi. So the simpleness of essential number 5, sink the shoulders and drop the elbows, like I said, might be easy to understand intellectually, but to put it into practice in each and every movement does take some thought and some concentration. But it's well worth it because it's going to help your body move in a much more relaxed way, allowing your energy to flow in a more relaxed way, allowing you to feel that vitality that Tai Chi can bring.